We should have done eye protection.
Yeah.
What did you make, dude? This is so cool.
I put a Rapidstrike inside of a suitcase. It's pretty great.
Oh man, that turned out so freaking good. So, I saw Desperado when I was a kid, and they have like guitar cases with rocket launchers and Gatling guns in there. And I found this for like $3. It's a really old briefcase, suitcase thing. And I was just waiting for the perfect project. Like, this was my ideas to do some kind of thing, but you know, I had too many things to do. Jack showed up, and I'm just like, what would be great for him to do? And I was like, dude, I've been saving this. I think you can do it. And he hadn't seen Desperado yet. We watched it tonight. And dude, like an hour later, he's like, hey, I'm going out in the shed. And then he calls it Robmas. This is like the best gift ever. All right, let's show me it. Like, let's put it up here and talk about it a little bit. And the combination still work. Is it still 000?
Yeah, it's tight.
What are you gonna set it to?
I don't know. I mean, if I tell you, then you'll be able to do whatever you want.
Oh man, that's so cool. So is this a Strife?
No, this is a Rapidstrike.
Oh, did you got Rhett's Rapidstrike?
Yeah.
Sorry, Rhett.
It's actually it's you don't have to touch anything on it, so you could easily just take it out and put it back in.
Nice.
The only thing that's changed is that barrel.
That's
if you
nice.
just had another Rapidstrike barrel, you could throw it back
in here so I can see all this. Pizzazz. All right, so we're gonna start at the front of it. Tell me how you did everything, because this is gonna be like a little walkthrough kind of thing. Tell me what you did here, and then work over.
I marked it with just like a pen, and then I just drilled straight through it. Drills over there.
Cool.
And then cut like an approximate, because nothing was glued in yet, approximate like faux barrel length from the actual Rapidstrike.
Nice.
See? So you could put a little barrel attachment on there.
Oh, I like that. Could you? Yeah. That's cool. You'd have to glue it on there.
Well, yeah, you would.
Now, what's up with the hot glue there? Why'd you do that?
And then, because when I drilled through, that popped out a little, because it wasn't glued on very well, or like nailed on, or however they did it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just reinforced that, and then I reinforced this too, because you had to cut through that. That was a lot of filing.
Cool.
And then, I got the flywheel cage in, and then this is one of the 8 clips from those Reapers, like the Busby Retaliator style things, went on sale for like $2.50.
So sweet.
So I own 5 of them, and so I stole one of the mags from that. It was originally going to be a 12, and then I sort of lowered it a little so I could put that in. So it went down to an 8, which is totally fine. And then this is just the Rapidstrike assembly. You don't even have to change the length of the wires. Like, this was all just pulled out and placed inside of a briefcase. And then you just mount it sideways, and then these are like pieces of like paint mixing sticks, like, you know, keep stuff fresh, right? So I just kept snapping those up to make sure that everything's level, because that's the way that that's.
Here, pull that trigger for me while it's open.
So then,
so sweet.
Yeah, and then this part here is because it's on fabric. It's glued on solid.
The thing I loved about all this is it's felt. It's very fuzzy. Yeah. Like, I think it was like a nice silverware.
And then if it moves around, because it's on fabric, so this sort of sandwiches it together, so it doesn't move around when you're holding it. And then
tell me about your rev switch. I think that's that's the coolest part, you know.
So, well, originally I was thinking about 2 triggers, and then you'd have to operate it like all weird, like it wouldn't be comfortable. So that's just E-taped down. That's the firing switch, and then so I just wrapped that in E-tape, and then I filed this down. It's kind of like when you do a like a voltmeter on a Strife, and you just keep doing it until it's perfect. That's not perfect because it's held in with a lot of hot glue, but it's cool. And then just like a tiny bit shows up, and then when you do it, and then when you actually rest your hand like that, you can just tap it with the top of your.
That's so sweet. And show me where your hand like lines up on there, like, and so. So
it's great because when you're holding it just naturally as you would, you just have to move about an inch with your finger, so you won't really catch it accidentally. But then you can be like, and go up and down.
See what they did in the movie too? They put little plugs on there too, and so I think you could make a cap, maybe cut some of this crap off. Yeah, and just like put it on the edge, and then the first dart will knock it out. You know. You don't have to. I think it's super cool, but that's just an idea if you guys want to run with it.
I have a few other ideas.
Tell me about the batteries. First off, I want to say I bought these truss fires a long time ago when I was trying to buy AA sized, and I didn't know they made A size. I saw 18650 or whatever. Anyway, I bought them. Kenzie, I'm sorry that there's truss fires in here, but we have things. They haven't been charged in like
3 years.
Ever. I don't think I ever charged when I got them. So
kids, I was lent this Rapidstrike for NVZ 2 years ago, and I used it for all 3 floors of the last stand, and it's still getting the job done.
Oh, those are the truss fires that whether it was in that or
yeah, it was all set. It was already
sweet. So I do have more truss fires. Those are not mine. I can't be held accountable. But yeah, dudes, don't use truss fires like they're supposed to be dangerous. I'll have Kenzie explain why. I don't really get it. I like goofy batteries and stuff, and lipos seem kind of sketchy to me too. But you know,
I think if I were to do this, and had a little longer to do it, I would probably make this into a 12, because that would just have to move the flywheel setup up a little. And I would replace this with a lipo, and I would get clicky micro switches. But
cool.
I walked out into a shed, and I thought, I have the things for this, I'm going to do it, and I did it, and it works enough.
Now, you've already kind of mentioned it, and as I'm looking at this, it's like, dude, you got all that? That's sweet. But you got all that extra room. What are you going to do with that extra room?
My plan is, in the movie, there's one of the guys has like a machine gun one, he has two, and he's mowing people down. And then the other guy has one where he flips upside down, and it's like an RPG. So I want to put a big blast or something in there, going the opposite direction. And then yeah. So something like that, and then it would stick out the back, so you'd be able to sort of.
Dude, we got that giant tiger thing. Where's that at? That tiger Pumpy McPump face. I don't know where it's at, but it's that tiger laser tag with that giant pump mechanic on there. That thing would rock on there.
And so yeah, the plan was to be like, you'd be able to shoot off all your darts, and then you'd be able to like flip it upside down and sort of push a button on the top, and it would fire either a demolisher rocket or an absolver of like 4 darts. Cause I have one of those too.
These things are so cool in there too. Like I love that that works. All right, now what I want you to do is let's do some more shooting. Let's show the monkey again. Show me how you load it, and then show you how to shoot it.
Yeah, it's not exactly a flawless loading mechanism. I had an idea for to use a door hinge and then be able to open it so you could actually switch out the mags. And then I didn't feel like finding a door hinge because I couldn't find one in a 5-minute search.
I'll get you some. I definitely have a bunch of them.
Well, because these are only 8s, but when it was 12s, you could have easily busted it open and then moved a door hinge, thrown it back on. So if I make another one.
Let's load it up, and I want to see it shooting.
The only issue is you have to make sure that the pusher is all the way back. That's the fun thing to do. There you go. And then you just push them from the top. And this makes me cringe when people do this in real games. But for this, it's the only way. And so.
Here. Dude, this thing is amazing. I really like what you do with it. Again, don't use trust fires. Sorry, Kenzie. I'm not discrediting his concerns about trust fires. I just don't use batteries. I use springs. The community pretty much has agreed don't use trust fires, but people got them.
I'm a trust fire survivor. I've run HPCs with trust fires in my glasses.
I think it's like a gateway drug for modding, and I think it's a good start, but there are issues. All right, so let's go ahead and give that a rip. Fire about half of them, and then I'm going to come around the other side. Oh, actually, I'll come around here in the first place.
Yeah.
Hit it. Hit again. Ah, dude, load it again. One more time, and then we'll wrap up.
I love the fact that it works with the thing open.
I'm so impressed with this, dude. I hope the internet loves this. Kenzie was right. Me and Jack have a disagreement on workspace status. I need my workspace clean, and Jack can mod on top of stuff, and neither one of us is right.
I cleaned, and then because I was working on my beautiful Vulcan stripe over there, and then and so I was done with that, all the shell work for it. So I took it off and I put it over there, and I cleaned everything off, and then I needed all of the exact same things to work on this. So it looks just as messy, but it was clean, I promise.
All right, how should we shoot this one? I want to really showcase the crap out of this because it's nice. Let's do.
Oh, it makes me cringe when people push them in like this, but it's the only way to load it.
All right, I'll try and get the whole mech in there.
You good?
All right, hit me. Just think what it'll be like if you charge those trust fires.
I love it. I love that it works.
So we'll call this a work in progress. Since he's going to add more stuff to it, we're going to call it. What's the name of this thing, man? The Desperado.
Yeah.
The Desperado. Okay.
Oh, I managed to call it the Desperado. You can figure it out. You can make some dart pun with Desperado.
Let's start with, this is the Desperado 1.0, and stay tuned for Desperado 2.0. Thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. Oh, this is Jack, by the way. You know that already. Yeah. Bye.